Fuck it, let me watch you, bro.
He's most certainly a misogynist. He has views about owning women.
I think if you're in a relationship, you stay in that relationship with that one person.
Okay, so physically speaking, I do believe men created and built society as to what it is.
I think this is just another example. It comes down to context.
I do agree that the majority of women are smarter than guys, but if it's coming to like a like a fist fight or whatever, like best believe like I'd kick a woman's ass like any day.
You lying though? You lying though? Hey, 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 hey. Why they do that shit? Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second, bro. Wait, hold on. Hold on, bro. Hey, 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 ha, hey, 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 oh nah, that shit was hard for no reason.
Andrew Tate is a misogynist.
Like I do understand like why people say he is, because like his point of views and stuff like that, but at the same time I do also think that like he's just giving the same energy to everyone. Like obviously in my opinion, like some people act useless and some people don't, and it's like both women and men, and he's like more of like a traditional values type of guy, if that kind of makes sense. So yeah.
He's certainly a misogynist. He has
Hold on, that's, hey, I know her. Hey, she was in the other video. That's Davina. That's Davina. Nah, bro. Let me stop.
He has authority over a woman just because he's married. I mean, just because a woman is married to a guy, he thinks that like walking your daughter down the aisle is the father giving away women like it's a property. That's, to me, is misogynist. Pure misogynist.
When did he say that though? You're gonna have to clip me.
Yeah, so I agree slightly that he's a misogynist because I grew up in a very traditional household back in Sri Lanka, and I would probably use my mom as an example because my dad, it's probably really personal, but I'll say it anyways. My dad treated her the same way that he did, and I think...
Hey, why you do that though? Why you do that? That's it. It's really personal. Probably should say it, but I'm saying it anyway. Nah, he dead shouldn't have said that shit. He dead shouldn't have said that shit. You heard?
I think she would have done a lot anyways. My dad treated her the same way that he did, and I think she would have done a lot more in a job, and she would have really rose up in her career if she wasn't just limited to being in the kitchen. So definitely have points that I agree with Andrew Tate on, but I saw it firsthand and the effect it had on my mom. So
Andrew Tate said, "A lot of the world's problems could be fixed if women walked around with their body counts on their foreheads."
Hold on. Wait, hold on. He said that shit? Wait, hold on.
Women can't be sleeping with anybody and everybody because they will be known for it and shamed for it. They're going to be very, very selective with who they sleep with.
I think people forget that it takes two to tango. So if we're going to put the body count of women up for everyone to see, I'm going to see your body count as a man as well. And like, it's probably going to be the same more or less.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you should be shamed as well for your body count? Like, it just doesn't make sense that I, as a woman who enjoys having sex or has consensual good sex, should be like feel guilty about that. Like, why?
Yeah, I kind of do agree with what she said.
Hold on. Tell me, if you don't feel guilty about it, it is what it is. Like, it just is what it is. Like, if you don't care about it, then you shouldn't, like, You shouldn't worry about that shit though. For me, she's right. But if you don't care about it, then like it is what it is.
Yeah, I kind of do agree with what she's saying. It does take two to tango. Obviously, the majority of guys do use women, so like for us to lower women's value.
Why would he say that? He's a demon, a fiend, a fiend! I tell you, he's a fiend! Could not be me. Not me.
Guys do use women, so like for us to lower women's value.
No, he talking about the light skins. yeah, I got it. He talking about the light skins.
Even
I think this is just another example. It comes down to context. I think you can't really take some of his one-liners, out of context. It's a common theme. Like usually, if you watch a full video of what he's been saying, it's a completely different story. With this, I believe what he was saying is it comes down to, it's not just one-sided. He did just say women in there, but I agree that we should have, men's body counts on their forehead or whatever, because it is something that everyone deems as, a big thing, and it sort of avoids everyone lying. I feel like this world would be a lot better if people just, didn't have any secrets. Everyone was just open with, everything. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
What's this guy's name? Cause he speaking facts. What's the nigga name?
I think
Jack.
This is
My boy Jack's speaking, bro. He's speaking facts. I fuck with that. I fuck with that answer.
Depression does not exist.
This a motherfucking agree. Fuck. This a motherfucking agree.
3,
Shit, I'm running too,
1.
shorty. Shorty, I'm running too. The fuck? Anyone good, bro? I'm trying to slap them, bro. Anyone good, bro? Anyone good, bro? I violate. The fuck?
So
The fuck? That 50% stupid.
Yeah,
Dumb.
I think anyone
As
who
fuck.
does say that it doesn't exist probably isn't aware that they've had it before, or isn't aware of anyone else who isn't really aware of anyone else around them who has had it. So, or maybe they're just like denying it.
Okay, so I do believe that depression does exist, but to a degree. I do believe in clinical depression, but not just anyone stamping that just because they're upset for a long period of time that they're depressed. Lots of people just have no ambition in life most of the time, and because they can't do anything about it, then they say, I'm sad, I'm depressed, and then, make a sook out of it. So I do believe there is such thing as depression. But not every case of depression.
Wait, hold on, wait. Wait, I'm gonna zoom in for a bit. Look at this nigga face. Wait, that nigga on the right face got me dead. Wait, hold on. Why are you making faces like that?
Ambition.
Look at this nigga say, hell nah.
And then because they can't do anything about it, then they say, I'm sad, I'm depressed, and then, make a sook out of it.
Nah, you hate that nigga.
There's
You hate.
something as depression, but not every case of depression is depression, in my opinion.
Oh hell no.
Alright, following on that, I agree, depression 100% does exist. It's an emotion, it's normal, it's people, you can get sad, you can get really sad, you can get depressed, there's levels to it, right? I feel like now in society, depression has become like a trend. Now it's popular to be depressed, and I feel like that's really upsetting for the people who are genuinely depressed, because as you said, it kind of takes away the sort of social credibility for people who are actually sad, and then that limits people's ability to help. So I 100% agree depression does exist, but I think whatever you give energy to is sort of what you start believing. If I always tell myself, I'm depressed, I'm going to keep getting more and more depressed. Whereas if I tell myself, I'm more happy, I'm going to start feeling a lot better about myself. Yeah, I may not cure it 100%, but I'll
fuck with that. I'll fuck with bro. I'll fuck with him. I think
it's important to remember that with depression comes lack of motivation. So it's important to remember that just because someone's not doing something, it's not because they're lazy. It is because it is one of the effects of depression, and I mean like physically sitting on the sofa, not able to get up. So yeah, and obviously there are different levels, but it needs to be looked at in a holistic way, where you've got, you know, doctors and psychiatrists and lifestyle changes, and yeah, like it's just really important to know that it is definitely a thing, and often the people in it cannot get themselves out of it. They do need help, and I mean, you know, people don't suicide for no reason. So yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Okay.
Highly successful men do not have to be sexually exclusive in relationships.
Me personally, I disagree. I disagree. Me personally, I disagree with that one.
Exclusive,
We good?
I think, would mean like you're exclusively attached to the one partner in the relationship. And it's, obviously a relationship can be a very intimate thing. And if you were to, you know, have multiple partners, that may affect either one or both people mentally or
Facts.
physically in the long run. And
Facts.
jealousy obviously can come into it.
Facts.
And you know, I'm in a relationship, I'm married, so, and if I was to go off and, you know, join with someone else, then the other partner might not know about it, and they might, you know, become very depressed, because one person might have more feelings for one person relationship than the other, and then if one felt differently about the other, then they might have been like, you know,
He's fake chatting.
they love you more.
I ain't gonna lie, he's fake chatting, cause like with the polyamory shit, it's like they talking about it. They're supposed to communicate. If they did something with someone, then they're gonna say that shit, especially if you're married or whatever. So I don't know why it's talking like it's just straight cheating, cause obviously cheating and they don't know about it. And you guys didn't say anything about it. That's just cheating. Feel me? They're just cheating.
But the other person obviously doesn't have the same feelings. So I think regardless of your success, your value, I think if you're in a relationship, you stay in that relationship. With
I
that
believe
one
with
person.
that though. I believe. With that,
I definitely agree with the guys standing in the neutral line. Each their own, you know, like if you want to be in a monogamous relationship, so be it. If you want to be polygamous, that's cool too, as long as everyone is, you know, like on board with everything and they are not hurting anyone's feelings. But when it comes to, you know, if a man's success or like, I think status has nothing to do with it. Period.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
yeah, money doesn't really have anything to do with love.
Facts.
Yeah, I understand where she's coming from with the whole like status thing, but I do agree that once you do have a certain amount of status, you kind of do have more options to kind of just fling around, I guess. So that's kind of why I'm in the middle.
Oh, the shorty's is pissed! Shorty's is pissed! No, shorty's is pissed! Nah, they ain't like that. Nah, the shorty's ain't like that, bruh. The shorties ain't like that. I wouldn't like that shit either, my brother. But like, shit.
Status has
What?
nothing
Nah,
to do
this
with it, period.
nigga
You know,
bugging. He bugging. Oh
Yeah,
god.
money doesn't really have anything to do with love.
Nah, he dead bugging. Look
Yeah,
at him.
I understand where she's coming from with the whole like status thing, but I do agree that once you do have a certain amount of status, you kind of do have more options to kind of just fling around, I guess. So that's kind of why I'm in the middle.
Commercial break? Oh hell no! Oh hell no! What the fuck? Fuck the kids, bro. The fuck? Come on.
Tate said, "Modern society we live in has been built by men. Let's cut the crap. All the roads you see, all the buildings you see, everything around you, men built." 3, 2.
Oh, before that, I'ma stand like right around here. Right around here. I ain't gonna lie. Right around here. I don't think anybody should disagree. And if they disagree, I can't wait to see their answer. But I'm gonna debunk that bitch.
1.
Oh. The fuck? Okay. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping.
Physically, yeah, men built technically everything if you go back in history, but I feel like women built families, and so that's sort of, I feel like everyone has their own
Damn.
distinct role.
Wait. Wait, hold on. Wait. Wait, now you talking. I did not think of that. I did not think of that. Now you talking. You talking. What the fuck? Holy.
Technically everything if you go back in history.
Nah.
feel
You
like
talking.
women-
There's a lot of things that men won't let women partake in, like including work, like the workforce, sports, things like that. Just because men physically did that doesn't mean that women women don't want to do those kind of things. Like, you know, I remember being younger wanting to play football, and boys would be like, you can't fucking play football, you're a girl. Like, shit like that. It's not that we didn't want to be part of it, it's that a lot of the time we actually couldn't be, and that you can see that if you look through.
Agree and disagree, I ain't gonna lie. Agree and disagree. The niggas that you was gonna play football with when you were younger, they either didn't want to hurt you, or they just felt like you were just ass. And it was like, cause like for me, it's like those times I played a game called Thug Ball, right? Where you stand in a circle. I ain't throwing up the O right now. I ain't throwing up the O. You stand in a circle, right? You have a bunch of niggas that stand in a circle, and you're just kicking the ball, a soccer ball, and the ball. If you let the ball go past you out the circle, or if it goes through your legs, you get beat. You get beat the fuck up. And there were shorties that wanted to play with us. When it happened, obviously none of the guys gonna beat the girls up. Why the fuck would you do that? That's fucking wrong. That's fucked up. But that just takes away the point of the game. So we're gonna be like, you can't play with us. So it's like it what it is.
Part of it, it's that a lot of the time we actually couldn't be, and that you can see that if you look through history in every type of culture.
Men and women are not equal. 3, 2, 1.
I agree. Slightly, no other way. Not all the way is crazy.
I agree that men and women aren't equal, but that's on a spectrum of things. Like, for me, I'm academically not smart. I do agree that the majority of women are smarter than guys, but if it's coming to like a fist fight or whatever, like, best believe, like, I'd kick a woman's ass. Like,
Gangster. Gangster. Oh, Shorty say like that, but is he lying though? Shorty say like that, but is he lying though? Hold on.
I feel like a lot of the problems in today's society is that femininity is overpowering the masculinity, and masculinity is overpowering the femininity. Basically, so like dudes are starting to act like chicks, and chicks are starting to act like dudes. And I feel like
Hold on.
whole
They ain't like that. They ain't like that. Oh nah. I'll fuck with this guy. I think his name Jack. I'll fuck with him.
basically, so like dudes are starting to act like chicks, and chicks are starting to act like dudes. And I feel like because of that whole situation, because of people trying to embrace more masculinity with their feminine as opposed to the other way around, and that's why a lot of our problems have started, I believe. There's nothing wrong with it. I get it, everyone be themselves and everything like that, but there's just sort of biologically how we're made up is, we're made of different things. We have different strengths and weaknesses.
Facts.
I feel like it's no use me trying to play to one of my weaknesses when my partner might be 10 times better than me at that. So
Facts.
I'm standing here because I believe men and women should be equal, respectfully equal in their rights. It doesn't matter about physicality and all of those things. Men and women should be equal. And if you're talking about masculinity and femininity and all of those aspects, that, I guess, it is formed at home. Women these days are becoming more masculine because, again, there is an imbalance at home in the way they grow up and whatnot. So, respectfully, yes, men and women should be equal.
Why is she doing that though? Because that wasn't the fucking question. That dead wasn't the question. Like, with all due respect, that was not the fucking question. Men and women are not equal. Yes, we all know that they should be equal. Men and women should be equal. But that wasn't the fucking question. She could have went to agree. I don't think they're equal, but they should be equal. Like, but she bugging out. Like,
That
she blowing minds.